tonight. The Saskatchewan Health Authority promises to fix its faulty HR software. As Canada's Paralympic men's basketball team wins its first game, we catch up with two of its Saskatchewan hoopers. And how a Regina dog rescue is raising money by making some people surprise Bomber fans.
This is CBC Saskatchewan News.
It is Friday, August 30th, and the CBC Saskatchewan News starts right now. I'm Ethan Williams. Thanks for joining us tonight. Voters in this province are set to hit the polls in October, and we're not the only ones. BC and New Brunswick also have elections that same month, but a growing threat is hanging over all of these races. Catherine Tunney has more.
3 provinces are preparing for elections this fall. But before millions vote, officials are watching for foreign meddling. Canada's spy agency has repeatedly warned that foreign states are interfering in provincial politics. And a top-secret report from a group of parliamentarians recently named China and Pakistan as known aggressors, interfering with provincial nomination races and fundraising for preferred candidates. But the ability of provinces to defend against it is limited.
They wouldn't have the ongoing capacity to deal with the new threats of cybersecurity and disinformation campaigns.
When it comes to combating disinformation, BC is leading the way with new laws to fight it.
Things like deepfake audio, video, or images would be restricted in our elections.
A big concern for BC's chief electoral officer lies about the election itself. For example, an apparently legitimate AI-generated video falsely telling voters the day of the election has changed.
These activities could decrease trust in our elections, in our democratic institutions, or even suppress voter participation. So, those are my concerns. I think these are real risks.
Under the new provincial law, social media platforms can be made to take down posts containing disinformation or face $50,000 a day in fines. But the picture is different in Saskatchewan.
I don't have that. So instead, I come back to best practice. And I have the power of the bully pulpit. I can be transparent about what is unfolding.
In New Brunswick, officials are promising to educate voters as best they can about disinformation.
I think with most threats, people are a little bit innocent and complacent until something happens.
His message to all of Canada's premiers: pass tougher disinformation laws now to ward off foreign influence before it's too late. Catherine Tunney, CBC News, Ottawa.
A new rural policing service will be scrapped if the Saskatchewan NDP form government in the upcoming election. NDP leader Carla Beck announced this morning that she plans to get rid of the Saskatchewan Marshals Service and use the money to hire more local police officers. Beck says the NDP has repeatedly called on the Saskatchewan Party to address crime.
Response from the Sask Party was to, in 2022, announce a marshal service that wouldn't see boots on the ground until 2026. We've already spent $20 million on a service for things like, I'm not sure, logos and some of the background work, when what we needed was boots on the ground right away.
The Marshals Service has already received $14 million in funding and is expected to cost $20 million per year once fully operational. Beck made the pledge as part of her 4-point Tough on Crime plan. She says she'll invest in mental health and addiction services, go after organized crime and drug traffickers through a new task force, and offer a $2 million rebate program to small businesses and places of worship for security updates like alarms and doorbell cameras. The Saskatchewan Health Authority is apologizing for the rollout of its new payroll system, which has been plagued with problems. It's known as the Administrative Information Management System, or AIMS. The HR software deals with expense reports, invoices, and payroll for the health region. It was supposed to launch in 2021, but was delayed for a year. Then it was canceled because it wasn't working properly, and a new version was relaunched just last month. But nurses and other staff have complained they weren't getting paid correctly, and sometimes not at all. The SHA's CEO says he's sorry people have had negative experiences, and he promises the system will get better.
There's certainly an adjustment period that we go through as we're bringing on these new systems, and During that time, people are learning, they're learning new systems, they're improving processes, they're improving data as we move from the old systems to the new systems, and they're also sometimes technology fixes that need to be made as we mature the systems and the implementation.
The cost of the project has also tripled from an expected $86 million to a projected $240 million. Well, Mydale cyclist Keely Shaw has won Canada's second cycling medal at the Paralympics in Paris.
Keely Shaw of Canada will collect the bronze medal here.
The 30-year-old won bronze in the C4 3,000-meter individual pursuit, beating American paracyclist Samantha Bosco. She also won bronze in Tokyo in the same event. Canada's total, now medal total that is, stands at 4, all of them bronze. And 3 Saskatchewan basketball players are taking center stage for the Canadian men's wheelchair basketball team. The team started their round-robin games today, where they came out on top with an 83-68 victory over France. We checked in with a couple of them before the competition.
A step chuck from the foul line again, money.
Opening up my world to not feel so limited anymore. Like in my daily mobility chair, I can't do the same thing that I'm able to do in like my sport chair.
What a pass, Gonson! What a finish!
Kind of the social dynamics of parasport and what's the reality and what we view as reality before you're involved. And then also kind of like opens up your eyes to a community of people that you probably didn't know existed. Your role model? Wait.
Yeah. Well, there's been ups and downs, lots of ups, but we've known each other for a long time, and we've spent a lot of time with each other. And it's cool to see how he's developed from like I saw him when he was just a young 20-year-old like I am now, and I see him more as like an adult now, living his life and doing his thing.
First time I met G, he came in walking on his hands into the gym. Had these like halo kind of configurations around his legs, was going through some surgery stuff. If you had told me that you and this kid are going to play on the Paralympic team for, this is your second Paralympics now? 2 Paralympics in a row, I would have told you to kick rocks. There's not a chance. So it has been really fulfilling to watch him kind of like, you know, people say I'm a role model to him. He's his own person. You decide whether you're going to train, whether you're going to take this seriously. He's playing pro now in Europe. Those are all his own things and his own sort of goals and short-term and long-term goals. So it's just like, it's fulfilling to see how he's gone from this, you know, 8-year-old kid on his hands to being, you know, a grown-ass adult playing pro in Europe and taking care of himself and influencing the next generation too.
A step chuck. Gonson.
We're certainly proud about having this sort of representation. We also have another guy on our team, Chad Jasmine. He grew up in Burstall, so it's also in Saskatchewan. So we call him, you know, he's from Saskatchewan, we say. So 3 of us being on the team, it's never happened before. This is the most amount of representation Saskatchewan's had at this level in wheelchair basketball. Maybe we're doing something right. I don't know.
Like Nick said earlier, there's some years are tougher than others. You don't always get as many people as you want, but it's nice when we can like go back and give back when we are there and like try to help develop them more.
Well, we may be nearing the end of August and creeping closer to fall, but you never know it from the weather outside. Our long weekend forecast is looking more like the start of summer than the unofficial end to it. Tyreek Reed will tell us what we can expect in his full forecast when we come back. Welcome back. A new music festival is kicking off in Regina this weekend. Sweet Escape Fest begins in Victoria Park tonight and runs for 2 days. It also features some artists and genres we don't generally see in this province. Jeffrey Tram has more.
I ain't joking, do it sound like I'm kidding. I've been making like 2,000 a minute. So high up through the clouds, I was swimming.
It's not every day a big name rapper like Polo G comes to Saskatchewan.
What's up, it's Polo G. I'll be at Sweetscape Festival in Regina, Saskatchewan on August 31st, man. Be sure to pop out, it's gonna be lit.
The Chicago native is headlining the Sweet Escape Fest, where fans will certainly pop out to some of his biggest hits. He is part of a lineup featuring some recognizable names in hip-hop and R&B, including Fat Joe,
Lean back, that's right. Lean back.
and Jazz Cartier.
Right now, I just want you. Right now.
Oh man, this festival is, we've put in our blood, sweat, and tears into this. It's for the people, it's for the community, and we're basically just trying to bring the culture into Regina.
The culture he's referring to is youth culture, the sounds and a style he says have been underrepresented in the city.
Nothing as far as R&B, pop, hip-hop happens here in the city, so that demand has never been met.
Takes says country and rock festivals are common in the province, but says he's always had to go somewhere else to see his favorite artists live.
Growing up, watching much music, seeing my favorite artists tour across Canada, and they throw up the tour dates on the TV there, and it'd always be Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton. They'd always skip completely over Saskatchewan.
Besides the big names, this festival will also feature some local acts. Regina artist Melodina is one of the winners of a local artist showdown and will perform this weekend. She says playing to a large crowd in her hometown will be special.
It's a huge opportunity to be able to perform at an event that's actually catering to you and to the things that you're into and to the talents that you have. It's a huge step forward for the Black community.
As for the organizers, they are hoping to make this event an annual one.
At the end of the day, we're just trying to bring everybody a music festival. We're trying to have a good time, trying to end off summer off with a bang.
Yeah!
The festival begins tonight. Fat Joe is headlining. There will also be vendors, food trucks, and exhibition boxing matches. And organizers say about 5,000 people are expected to come down to the park for the Sweet Escape. Jeffrey Tram, CBC News, Regina.
This weather update is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz Regina, proud member of the Capital Automotive Group.
And weather specialist Tyreek Reed joining us now, and looks like some really nice weather for all those people heading down to the festival, Ty.
Oh yeah, luckily, Ethan. You know, of course, earlier this week we were met with some cooler temperatures, had to pull out the sweaters here in Regina, but that won't be the case for festival goers tonight and for the weekend ahead. We are seeing mostly seasonal temperatures down in south and central. To the north, still seeing temperatures in the upper teens, but of course, as we head further down in the province, we're seeing temperatures in the upper 20s for daytime highs today. Closer to the U.S. border, even seeing temperatures closer to 30s. So festival goers will definitely get to feel all of that warmth this weekend, and we'll really be feeling that throughout most of the province. Now, we started our day with mostly dry conditions and calm conditions. We're starting to see that change in the northwest. We do have this system coming down, and it's heading southeast. It does seem like it's bringing some thunderstorms along with it, but those should be non-severe. So we'll keep our eye on that throughout the day and the evening ahead. Now, this is going to continue traveling southeast tonight, and it'll head out tomorrow morning. Looking at the forecast tomorrow, mainly dry conditions throughout the entire province as we get closer and closer to the week ahead, and that's going to continue into Sunday. We could see some showers in the far north, but that won't bring any severe or significant weather along with it. So this long weekend is looking pretty nice for the most part. Lots of clearing and sunshine along with that as well, and that'll continue into the week ahead. Now, although we are going to be met with this nicer weather, we are still keeping our eye on these air quality advisories in the north, mostly seeing that to the northeast right now. Conditions are improving further west. As we head into the weekend ahead, we are going to see the smoke travel down into the southeast, so these advisories could expand, and we'll be keeping our eye on that. Windy conditions for our friends up north. We saw that down in south and central this afternoon as well. Better conditions right now, but still seeing those wind gusts near 40 kilometers an hour for our friends in the north. As we head into tomorrow, we're really going to see those stronger winds pick up down in south, mainly to the southeast. Right here in Yorkton, we're seeing those gusts at around 51 kilometers an hour tomorrow, and that'll continue as we head into Sunday as well. So it'll be nice, but it'll be very breezy outside as well. So definitely hold on to your hats and all of your objects. Now looking at the 7-day forecast here in Regina, seeing daytime highs at around 27 degrees on Sunday. Great for those of us who are heading to the Riders game. And these daytime highs will continue as we head into the first week of school. We're going to see daytime highs in the 30s for students. So you're really going to want to keep that in mind as you're planning your back to school outfits. In Saskatoon as well, also seeing similar conditions, seeing highs at around 27 degrees on Sunday. This will continue as we head into the week ahead, and we're really going to want to keep that in mind because we're still feeling that warmth. It's almost fall, but it's looking like the beginning of summer, as you mentioned earlier, Ethan.
How tough is it going to be a kid going back to school and it's 30 degrees?
30 degrees.
Oh, man, that jealousy. All right, thanks so much, Ty.
No problem.
If I want to survive, I have to play their game.
Well, Star Wars fans can now experience the first open-world video game based on the hit franchise. Regular video games require players to stick to a specific mission, but in Star Wars Outlaws, players take on the roles of two new characters, a thief who's on a mission to survive, and her companion. So far, however, the game's reviews have not been overly kind. Stay with us. We're back after the break. Welcome back. Well, it has been a long week for the Saskatchewan Roughriders as they are preparing for the biggest game of the season, not just for the rivalry, but also in the standings. And no matter where they stand, the Labor Day Classic against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers always has a lot of meaning to the fans and the players. This season, first place in the West Division is also on the line. The players may say it's just another game, but a rivalry week like Labor Day always has some extra electricity.
It's really just like the energy that comes with it. You know, everybody's so excited every single week, but you know, when it comes down to like rival weeks and knowing where we stand in the standings, it always just brings a little bit more excitement, a little bit more energy. And you know, we've had a good week of practice this week, and we're just ready to play.
It's just a little bit of dislike. It's like, I don't like this guy, so I definitely can't let him beat me. Like, if it's somebody I don't really, you know, it's like, okay, we cool, but I still can't let you beat me. But like, I don't like y'all. I definitely can't let y'all beat me. You always add a little bit of juice to it.
And the Labor Day Classic festivities begin tomorrow with the annual Fan Day, where every player will be out for autographs after practice. The game itself is sold out. It is a 5 o'clock kickoff on Sunday at Mosaic Stadium. And Bright Eyes Dog Rescue in Regina has found a way to capitalize on that Labor Day rivalry. Some Rough Rider fans have been horrified to find a Blue Bomber sign on their front yard. And they're all too happy to cough up money to make it go away and donate to a good cause.
I was just doing some housework and stuff around the house, and I looked outside and I saw this placard, and I immediately laughed because I knew exactly what it was. Of course, I took some pictures. My wife was working. I sent it to my wife and said, I mean, we got hit.
We are setting out signs that say the Bombers' biggest fans, and on the back it says, "You've been bombed, and if you would like the sign removed, you can pay $20, or you can wait the 24 hours of embarrassment and we will remove it from your lawn."
I was targeted because we're big Rider fans. I mean, I got lights on my house to turn green and white during the games. I had a pretty good idea who did it. We have some friends from Winnipeg that stay here, and she's a big Bombers fan, and we always go to the Labor Day Classic together. And she definitely was the one who set me up.
It's been absolutely amazing. We're at almost $3,000 raised with requests coming in every single day. It goes to our veterinary bills, our medical dogs, food, all the supplies to rescue the dogs.
I love the idea that it was a fundraiser for a dog rescue. Our dog's a rescue dog, and we're very grateful for that. As you'll see, she's a Rider fan now too. She's got the gear on, and she was a little distant. She wanted to pee on the sign actually, but a great idea. So I immediately sent the money, and I got that sign taken off our lawn as quickly as possible. And I sent it to another friend, Ted. If you're watching, you know it was me now.
Okay, Ted, you've been warned, and here's hoping I don't go home and find you've placed one of those signs on my lawn, Tyreek.
Hey, oh, you won't. Don't worry, Ethan. And you know, riders, fans, dogs, and humans will all be met with some pretty warm temperatures on Sunday during the game and bright sunny skies. It's looking like a great day to head to the game, and that'll continue throughout the weekend. Looking at tomorrow morning's forecast here in Regina, waking up to temperatures in the mid-teens as we head into the afternoon hours. That's when we'll see those daytime highs in the low 20s and mostly sunny conditions as well. Over in Saskatoon tomorrow, waking up to temperatures in the mid-teens as well. Dry conditions, and that will continue as we head into tomorrow afternoon and throughout the weekend ahead. Lots of dry, warm weather for our long weekend here, Ethan.
Yeah, I won't complain that it's still feeling like summer.
Me neither.
All right, thanks, Ty.
No problem.
And finally tonight, it is, well, back to school next week for the kids in all this heat, and for elementary and high school kids anyway. But today is also a big day for the bigger kids, headed back to university for the first time. Hundreds of University of Regina students and their parents were busy bringing their bags and suitcases into their new dorms this morning. More than 1,000 students will be living here this fall. Many of them are first-year students from other parts of the province and even outside the country. We chatted with a few of them about how they're coping and what they brought with them to make that transition a little easier.
I'm feeling really excited, a little bit nervous, but mostly excited.
What did you bring from home that has some special meaning for you?
Yeah, so I brought custom design posters that I did graphic design for. I love creativity, love design, and it makes me feel at home.
You brought some candies and things.
Yes.
Is there anything else that you brought to remind you of home?
I bring my photos with my families.
My go-to things I brought from home was my ukulele, my longboard, and my bike.
Is there anything that you left behind that you wanted to bring?
My very old cat that I've had since I was 6 years old.
Oh, what's your cat's name?
Zoe.
Oh, okay. How are you feeling about being away from Zoe?
So sad.
One cool thing, a personal item that I got before I left, my friends, they made like a photo album from the time we studied together, and I brought it with me, because it will, as I'm staying here, it will remind me of the time home, so yeah.
I just came from the Philippines, and I brought like pictures of my friends, and then I put them on a frame, and then that's like my sentimental value.
I brought my guitar from home because my dad gave it to me.
What's it mean to have that here, as a memory of your dad when you're moving into this new place where you don't know anyone?
It just helps me because, it reminds me of home and, all the times I've practiced with them and stuff.
Is there anything from home that you wish you could have brought that you didn't have room for?
My PS4, yeah.
You didn't bring your PS4?
No, my mom didn't let me.
I think somebody better check in on that guy, make sure he's doing okay during his first week. That is it for us tonight. For news anytime, you can always head to our website, cbc.ca/Sask. You can also subscribe to the CBC Saskatchewan YouTube channel or download the CBC News app. We are back on Tuesday at 6. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching. Have a great night and a wonderful long weekend.